Hey guys, so I'm trying something a little new today, and I got bored and was looking around on Reddit like everybody does once in a while. And I found this writing prompt on my Reddit feed, which actually looks adorable. And the replies to this are just there's no other way to describe them. They're the greatest. And I believe everybody needs to know about these certain replies. They are funny, they are creative, they're exactly what you would expect in a writer's prompt subreddit. I figured I might read a few of them and see what everybody likes about them, see what everyone doesn't like about them, see if people can find new things to add to the story, see if people can write their own versions of it. And I figured I wanted to try this out because I've always liked the idea of writing prompts and I love going through and reading them, but I don't see a lot of people on YouTube actually doing it, or at least nobody that I watch on YouTube does it. So I figured I'd just jump into the deep end, see what I can do to, well, just jump in and see what I can. I don't know what I'm saying. I figured I'd just try it out. If people like what I read and like what I'm finding for them, then maybe I'll do this more often. If not, then that's my own problem. And I've tried something. I tried something new. I failed at it. I'll find something else. Who knows? Maybe someone might like me rambling to my computer screen. Anyway, I found this story that I'm going to read to you guys. It's a little long, but the long ones are always the best, right? So, without further ado, let's get into some r/writing prompts. So, what I found today was, look, I know we're arch enemies. We got the classic superhero, supervillain dynamic and everything going on, but honestly, I can't think of anyone better to be the godparent to my kid than you. And I'm like, that is just the cutest thing I've ever seen today. And I need something cute today. I figured more people needed something like this, so I'm just going to read out a couple of the replies that I found. This first one is is nuts, but hey, whatever gets your whatever floats your goat, whatever. Anyway, the reply is from Slightly Cold Waffles. Honey, you need to warm up your waffles if they're slightly cold. Anyway, let's see what this guy's got written down, and we'll see how well it sounds, because honestly, I think it's adorable. Dr. Doomsday, I know you're insane, but this takes the cake, I said to my most lethal enemy. Hear me out, Walkman, he said, walking into the industrial machinery that lay smoldering between us. This had once been some sort of manufacturing plant, turning sheets of metal into complex machinery. Now it was a little more than scrap. We know each other very well. I've studied you extensively, trying to find a new weakness to exploit. I'm sure you've done similar, he ranted. I gave him a reluctant nod in agreement. I had spent countless hours in my soundproof recording studio digging through files and evidence about the supervillains. About the supervillain. I know your hobbies, he continued. I know your views on politics, on religion, on financial responsibilities. Get to your point, Doctor. You're not the only bad guy I've got to stop today, I growled. In truth, I wanted this conversation to end. It made just enough sense that I wanted to hear him out, but this was a villain. I couldn't trust anything he said. My point, Walkman, is that we know each other better than anyone. Did you know I accidentally planned a heist on my anniversary and you ripped my arms off? He gestured to his metallic arms that currently were covered in machinery oil and plaster dust. My point is, I know you better than my own wife, than our marriage. Have you ever thought of giving up crime and spending more time with her, I recommended, my tone easing toward a sympathetic side. I had never married, in fear that a villain like Dr. Doomsday would have hurt her to get to me. The villain cackled. Of course! But then I'd miss doing this. He gestured to the machinery in ruins around us. So you want to keep fighting, I said slowly, making sure I understood the overall proposition. And if one of us dies, the other raises our children. Precisely, Dr. Doomsday exclaimed, jumping up on a twisted, smoldering industrial laser. Don't you see? We would be the best choices. We'd be able to protect them, obviously. We could teach them their father's values, how to be a man, how to be super. He punctuated his speech by clenching one of his cyborg fists. I considered the option ever so briefly. Dr. Doomsday, I don't have any children. Your research should have told you that. The supervillain grinned and pulled a manila envelope from a deep pocket inside his lab coat. Oh, it told me so much more than that. I had been holding this to hurt you with, but now seems as good a time as any. He tossed me the envelope. Keeping an eye on him, I opened the folder and peered inside. A photo of a young man stared back. He had my eyes and jawline, but other features were softer, more delicate. His hair was jet black, the same color as... No. I glared up at the bad doctor. He cackled. Yes, Walkman. She lied to you all those years ago. Meet Stephen, your 14-year-old son. I stared back down at the photo. He definitely was mine. I could feel it. Do you want to meet him? Dr. Doomsday asked softly. I can arrange it, if you accept my proposal. I clenched the folder in my fist, hating myself for what I was about to do. Deal. About the same length as the previous one, but I think it might actually be a bit more interesting. The villain looked at the hero from the other side of the specially made cell, still limply holding a piece of toast they bit into. He looked at the hero like they were a science experiment gone wrong as they stood there bashfully twiddling their thumbs. You're joking. No, you honestly are probably one of the best people I could think of. The villain let that sentence hang in the air for a moment before getting up and looking up and down their containment area. What are you doing? The villain lifted their bed frame a bit to check underneath it. Where are the hidden cameras? The microphones? I have to be getting pranked or something. Excuse me? The hero was taken aback. I wouldn't joke about this. Look, we both know you have about as much humor as a dry piece of wood. So it had to be the kid. What's their name? Gecko? Funny as shit. He punctuated shit by throwing his remaining scraps of food on the floor and checking the tray it was brought on. Mortius! The villain glanced up at them, currently trying to break the tray on their knee. Yeah? Will you please try and take this seriously, if only for a moment? Me? You? Serious? By all that is good, yes! Quick as a flash, Mortius tossed the tray to the side and slammed himself into the glass, causing the hero to jump and several guns to point at the villain's cage. I'll get serious as soon as you stop fucking around. The hero pinched the bridge of their nose and took a deep breath. I understand this seems a little stupid, unorthodox, but you have to understand what I see. Mortius turned back to their bed and flipped it back up and flopped onto it. He waved a hand for the hero to keep talking. I see a good heart in a tortured soul. I see a man who stands for his convictions. I see... The hero paused as Mortius had raised his hand as if to ask a question. Yes, Mortius? You do remember I got put in here because I broke out of prison one too many times and recently tried to blow up a national monument, right? I remember you not taking your count-appointed therapy. Oh, they did a spell check. No, they did a little spell check wrong. I remember you not taking your court-appointed therapy seriously, using it as a chance to escape, and then, yes, trying to destroy Lady Liberty. So... Mortius said this with an air of exasperation, but the hero just looked at him quizzically. Morty, we agreed you wouldn't call me that. Look, I know why you were trying to destroy Liberty. I know it was a message to the people, and it was being used for drug trafficking operations by the state. Mortius whipped his head around and checked the cameras, only to see that they had been powered down moments before. I also know that you made sure the island was evacuated first, and that this was done so that it could be flipped right back up after. How do you... My minions told you, didn't they? They went for a plea agreement, yes. Typical. Mortius snorted as he flipped back over away from the hero. As I said earlier, a man of conviction, morals, and with an inability to sit by while others are in need of help. The only problem is your methods of handling the problems you find. Honestly, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have been able to act on the ring of crime ever since... Oi, I can't read. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. The only problem is your methods of handling the problems you find. Honestly, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have even been able to act on the ring of crime involved since it was so well organized by the state. I can think of no one else that would be as good a godfather as you. And why? Oh, why? Don't you ask one of your superhero friends. Why does it have to be me? The hero thought for a moment and said, Valkyrie was made from snow and venom by the ice giants, no experience being a child, let alone raising one. Gecko is only a kid themselves and is still getting through college to boot. Spectaculad is unreliable with heavy responsibilities and time management, and the rest are more of the same. But why me? Mortius sat up and faced the hero again. Come on, Starman, level with me here. Starman stared at him for what felt like an eternity, sizing him up before responding. A long time ago, when I was learning about my powers, I thought I could do whatever I wanted. Like I was untouchable. I had so much anger and dissatisfaction with the system that I had tried to take matters into my own hands. And it ended with someone I loved dying because of my mistakes. Mortius stared at him, seeing him more clearly. The long-held pain still there, like an old scar as he talked. But that's why it has to be you. I see so much of myself in you. The passion, the fury, the need for purpose. I don't know what the future holds. Being a hero is dangerous, and while I know you wouldn't, life is unpredictable. I know that if I were to pass and my daughter was alone in this world, I know that you would be able to be there for her and raise her just like I would. There sat the longest silence yet as Mortius processed it all. But finally he asked, "Could I think on it?" Starman smiled. "Of course." He got up to walk to the glass wall after he left. While he left. "Don't know when I'll have an answer, though." "That's fine. I'm sure your minions will break you out of here before then." "I'll find you before long." Mortius chuckled as he watched Starman leave the room, feeling lighter than he had, thinking about the future. Well, that went a little longer than I expected, and I may have adjusted in my seat, so the sound quality in that second story might be a little different. But I have to say, those stories are absolutely amazing, and I feel like more people need to read these. I feel like more people need to know about them, need to hear them, need to see them. If you have any ideas on which r/Reddit content that I should try out, give me a comment. Send me a like if you liked this video. Give me a comment if you have any ideas on how I can make my videos more interesting, how I can make them more, well, noticeable. I mean, I know I'm not interesting. I know I'm not someone that everybody wants to know, everybody wants to hear. But I'm trying something new, and if you think of anything that you might want to hear from me later on, or something that you might want me to try out, I'm open for anything, guys. Besides, I've got a long weekend coming up soon, and I've got nothing better to do. So if you think of anything good for me to try out, or anything good for me to play around with, I am all for it. So I guess this has been the Rosy Pair for the first time, and quite possibly the last, depending on how well people think of me. All right, I guess I'll catch you guys next time if you want to. Remember to like, comment, and if you absolutely want to, after one video, give me a subscribe and let me know you want to see more of this. All right, bye!